The screaming starts before the plane even moves. Two voices, high, sharp, uncontrolled. They rip through the cabin of Flight 482 like sirens tearing through a quiet street at 3 a.m. Passengers freeze mid-motion. A woman reaching for her overhead bin stops. A businessman halfway through removing his blazer turns his head. The flight attendant walking down the aisle with bottled water slows her steps, eyes scanning the rows. Row 27. Window seats. Two girls, twins, maybe 5 years old. Their mouths are wide open, faces red, tears streaming down their cheeks. They clutch the armrests like the plane is already plunging from the sky. Their father sits between them, shoulders hunched, hands trembling as he tries to pull one daughter close. She jerks away. The other twin kicks her feet against the seat in front of her. The man in that seat whips around, jaw tight. The father whispers something. His lips move fast. His hands hover over the girls like he's afraid to touch them wrong. One twin shrieks louder. The sound bounces off the curved walls, sharp enough to make a baby 3 rows back start crying too. A woman across the aisle leans toward her husband and mutters something behind her hand. The husband doesn't bother lowering his voice. If he can't handle them, why bring them on a plane? The father's head drops. His fingers press into his knees. He doesn't look up. Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Be honest, have you eaten today? What did you have? Tell me that, your location, and the time. And if you're new, help me prove something wrong. My mother said drill stories would never reach 10,000 subscribers, but stories like this deserve to be heard. So don't leave without subscribing. It feels empty when you come in and leave without saying a word. Now, let's continue. The flight attendant reaches row 27. She crouches beside the father, her smile practiced but thin. Sir, is everything okay? Her voice is soft, but there's weight underneath it, the kind that says this isn't just a question. He nods too fast. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. His voice cracks on the second sorry. They're just scared. I'm trying. I understand. The attendant's eyes flick to the twins, then back to him. But we need to ensure all passengers are comfortable for departure. The word departure lands like a threat. The father swallows hard. Please, just give me a minute. I can calm them down. But he can't. Because the twins aren't throwing tantrums. They're drowning in something bigger than a 5-year-old should ever have to carry. Their hands shake. Their breathing comes in gulps. One twin presses her forehead against the window, eyes squeezed shut. The other grips her father's sleeve so tight her knuckles go white. The businessman in the tailored suit 2 rows ahead stands up. He doesn't even pretend to be polite. This is ridiculous. We've been sitting here for 20 minutes. A woman in the middle section nods. Someone needs to do something. The father hears it all. Every word, every sigh, every muttered complaint that people think is quiet but isn't. His chest tightens, his hands ball into fists on his lap, but he doesn't raise his voice, doesn't defend himself, just stares at the seat back in front of him like he's trying to disappear into it. The flight attendant stands. She glances toward the cockpit, then back at the father. Her hand moves to the small radio clipped to her belt. The twin on the left screams again, louder this time. The sound is raw. Animal, the kind that makes people's shoulders tense and their faces harden. A phone camera tilts up in row 22. The screen is angled just enough to catch the twins in frame. The father notices. His jaw clenches. He leans forward, shielding his daughters with his body, but it's too late. The damage is already spreading. Whispers ripple through the cabin like wildfire. Judgment hardens in every glance. The captain's voice crackles through the overhead speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're currently number 3 for departure, but we're experiencing a slight delay. We'll keep you updated. Thank you for your patience. Patience. The word feels like a joke. The flight attendant steps into the aisle and signals another crew member near the front. A man, older, his uniform crisp. He nods and starts walking back. The father sees him coming. His breath catches. His hand moves to his jacket pocket, fingers brushing something inside. A folded piece of paper, creased, worn. He doesn't pull it out. One of the twins turns her head. Her crying softens for just a second. Her eyes lock onto her father's face. Daddy, she whispers, I want Mama. The father's face crumbles. He pulls her close this time, and she doesn't fight it. Her small body shakes against his chest. The second attendant reaches row 27. He doesn't crouch. He stands. "Sir," he says quietly, "can I speak with you for a moment?" The father doesn't move. "Sir?" He lifts his head. His eyes are red. "Please don't make us leave." The attendant's expression doesn't change. "Let's just step into the galley for a second." The businessman in the suit leans into the aisle. "Finally." The father stands slowly. His legs are unsteady. He looks down at his daughters. The twins are still crying, but quieter now. Broken. He touches the top of one girl's head just once, then steps into the aisle. The cabin watches him walk toward the back. Every eye, every silent verdict. The attendant gestures toward the galley curtain. The father follows, and then a seatbelt clicks open. Not in the front, not in the middle, in the back. A figure stands, small, steady. The overhead light catches the edge of a gray hoodie, worn sneakers, hands that don't shake. The cabin notices, heads turn. The figure starts walking forward slowly, deliberately. The flight attendant near the galley pauses mid-sentence. The father turns his head. The figure doesn't stop, row by row, closer, and the entire plane goes still. The father stands frozen in the galley, halfway through an apology he doesn't believe will matter. The male flight attendant has one hand raised, words forming on his lips, but his attention shifts. His eyes move past the father's shoulder. He's looking at something, someone, walking up the aisle. The father turns. A young woman, short stature, maybe 4 feet tall, early 20s. Her face is calm, almost too calm for a plane full of tension. She wears a faded gray hoodie with the sleeves pushed up to her elbows. Her jeans are worn at the knees. Her sneakers squeak faintly against the rubber floor. She doesn't look at the businessman in the suit or the woman shaking her head in row 22. She doesn't acknowledge the cameras still half raised. Her eyes are fixed on row 27. The female flight attendant steps into the aisle, hands out like she's directing traffic. "Miss, I need you to return to your seat. We're about to—" "I know," the young woman says. Her voice is quiet but cuts clean through the noise. "I'll be quick." She doesn't wait for permission. She keeps walking. The attendant blinks, caught between protocol and something she can't name. She doesn't stop her. The father's throat tightens. He watches the young woman reach row 27 and crouch down beside the twins. Not in front of them. Beside them. Eye level. Her movements are slow, deliberate, non-threatening. The twins' crying hasn't stopped, but it's softer now, hiccuping. One twin has her face buried in her hands. The other stares out the window, shoulders shaking. The young woman doesn't touch them, doesn't speak yet. She just waits. 5 seconds pass, then 10. The cabin is so quiet the hum of the engine sounds loud. Finally, the twin with her face in her hands peeks through her fingers. Her eyes are swollen, wet, red-rimmed. She looks at the young woman and freezes. The young woman smiles. Not big, not bright, just there. "Hi," she says softly. "My name's Amara." The twin doesn't respond, but she doesn't look away either. Amara shifts her weight, settling onto her knees. "You don't have to talk. That's okay. But I want to tell you something." She pauses. "I used to scream on planes, too." The second twin's head turns from the window, slowly. Her tear-streaked face is visible now. Her breathing still uneven. Amara nods like the girls just asked her a question. "Yeah, I was little, maybe your age, and I screamed so loud the pilot came out of the cockpit." She lets that sit for a second. "Everyone stared at me, just like they're staring at you now." The businessman in the suit shifts uncomfortably. He doesn't turn around, but his shoulders stiffen. Amara keeps her voice low, steady. "You know what I was scared of?" The first twin lowers her hands a little. Her lips part, but no sound comes out. "I thought the plane was going to take me away from my dad," Amara says. "And I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay right where I was, because if I left, I thought I'd lose him forever." The father's breath catches in his chest. He takes a step forward, but the male flight attendant puts a hand on his arm. Not rough, just, "Wait." The second twin whispers something. It's too quiet for most of the cabin to hear, but Amara leans in. "What did you say, sweetheart?" The twins' voice shakes. "We already lost Mama." The cabin might as well be a tomb. Amara's face doesn't change, but something flickers in her eyes. She nods slowly. "I know," she says. "I lost my dad too." The first twin's hands drop completely. She stares at Amara, really stares, like she's searching for proof. "It was a plane just like this one," Amara continues. "He was sitting right next to me, and then one day, he wasn't." She swallows. "And I thought if I ever got on a plane again, I'd lose everyone else too." The second twin wipes her nose with the back of her hand. Her breathing is starting to even out. Amara reaches into her hoodie pocket and pulls something out. 2 small paper cranes. They're not perfect. The folds are a little uneven, the paper soft from being handled too many times. She holds them out, one in each hand. "My mom taught me how to make these," Amara says. "She told me that when the world feels too big, too scary, too fast, you fold it into something small, something you can hold." She places 1 crane on each twin's lap, gently, like she's setting down something sacred. The first twin picks hers up. Her fingers are careful, tentative. She turns it over, examining the creases. The second twin just stares at hers. "This plane isn't taking you away from your mama," Amara says. "It's carrying you forward, and she's still with you. In here." She taps her chest right over her heart. "That doesn't go away. Not on a plane, not anywhere." The first twin's lip trembles. Then she does something no one expects. She leans forward and wraps her arms around Amara's neck. The entire cabin inhales. Amara closes her eyes and hugs her back. The second twin slides off her seat and joins them. 3 people holding on in the middle of row 27, while 200 others watch in stunned silence. The father covers his mouth with his hand. His shoulders shake, but he doesn't make a sound. The male flight attendant lets go of his arm. Amara pulls back gently, brushing a strand of hair from the first twin's face. "You two are so strong," she says. "Stronger than you know. And your dad?" She glances up toward the galley, toward the father. "He's doing everything he can. Don't forget that." The twins nod. Both of them. Amara stands slowly, her knees cracking faintly. She gives the girls one last smile, then turns and walks back up the aisle. She doesn't look at anyone, doesn't acknowledge the stares, just returns to her seat in the back and buckles in. The father stumbles into row 27. He drops into his seat, pulls both daughters into his lap, and holds them like the world is ending and they're the only thing keeping him here. The female flight attendant clears her throat. She looks at her colleague, then back at the father. We're going to finish preparing for takeoff." The father nods. He can't speak. She walks away. The businessman in the suit is staring at his phone. His thumb hovers over the screen, but he doesn't tap anything. Slowly, he lowers it and tucks it into his jacket pocket. The woman in row 22, who raised her camera earlier, deletes the video. No one sees her do it, but the motion is there, deliberate, quiet. The captain's voice returns. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've been cleared for departure. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin." The engines shift. A low hum becomes a building roar. The father holds his daughters tighter. The twins don't scream. They don't cry. They just press their faces into his chest, paper cranes clutched in their small fists. The plane begins to move. But in the back, 3 rows from the rear galley, Amara stares out her window. Her face is unreadable. Her hands rest on her lap, fingers interlaced. She doesn't move, doesn't blink. And for just a second, so brief most people would miss it, her jaw tightens. Because what no one on this plane knows yet is that Amara didn't just lose her father on a flight like this one. She watched him die. The plane lifts off the runway, and the cabin tilts backward. The father feels the shift in his stomach, the pressure in his ears, the way gravity pulls at his daughters in his lap. But they don't scream. They don't thrash. They just breathe. In and out, slowly, their fingers still wrapped around the paper cranes. He closes his eyes and thanks God. Thanks the universe. Thanks whoever sent that young woman to row 27. But the businessman in the tailored suit isn't done. The seatbelt sign is still lit. The plane is still climbing. But he twists in his seat anyway, craning his neck to look back at the father. His face is tight, red. He doesn't say anything at first, just stares, like he's waiting for an apology that will never come. The father notices. He meets the man's eyes for half a second, then looks away. The businessman doesn't. Unbelievable, he mutters, loud enough for 3 rows to hear. The woman beside him, presumably his wife, touches his arm. David, leave it. Leave it? His voice climbs. We sat on the tarmac for 30 minutes because of that. David, I have a meeting in Seattle at 8 a.m. I paid for priority boarding. I paid for business class. He gestures vaguely toward row 27. And we all had to wait because someone couldn't parent their kids. The father's jaw tightens. His daughters tense in his arms. He strokes their backs, trying to keep them calm, but his hand is shaking now. A man across the aisle, older, with a gray beard and a veteran's cap, speaks up. Maybe you should sit down and shut up. The businessman's head snaps toward him. Excuse me? You heard me. The older man doesn't raise his voice, doesn't have to. Those girls just lost their mother, so sit down. The businessman's mouth opens, closes, his face flushes darker. But he turns back around and drops into his seat. Hard. His wife stares out the window. She doesn't say anything. The father exhales. He wants to thank the older man, but his throat is too tight. He just nods once. The man nods back. But the tension doesn't leave. It settles into the cabin like smoke. Thick, uncomfortable. People shift in their seats, check their phones, pretend they're not listening. A flight attendant walks down the aisle with a cart, offering drinks and snacks. When she reaches row 27, she stops, leans in. Her voice is quieter now, softer. Can I get you anything, sir? The father shakes his head. No, thank you. She looks at the twins. What about you two? Juice? Cookies? The first twin peeks out from her father's chest. She nods, barely. The attendant smiles, a real one this time. She pulls out 2 apple juice boxes and a packet of cookies, handing them over without asking for payment. On the house, she says. The father's eyes sting. He nods again. Words stuck somewhere between his chest and his mouth. The attendant moves on. The twins sip their juice slowly. The cabin quiets. The hum of the engines becomes background noise. The plane levels out. The seatbelt sign dings off. People start getting up, stretching, using the restroom, pulling laptops from bags. The world resumes. But the father doesn't move. He stays exactly where he is, daughters in his lap, staring at the seatback in front of him. His mind is somewhere else, somewhere darker. 3 months ago. A hospital room. The smell of disinfectant and something sour underneath. His wife's hand in his, so thin he could feel every bone. Her voice barely a whisper. Promise me you'll take care of them. I will. Promise me, Javon. I promise. She died 6 hours later. The funeral was small, cheap. He couldn't afford anything else. The burial plot was in a section of the cemetery no one visited. No headstone yet, just a metal marker with her name stamped into it. He told himself he'd get a real one when he had the money. But the money never came. The medical bills came instead, stacks of them, envelopes with red letters, phone calls from collection agencies. He tried to work, tried to keep the house, but his boss didn't care that his wife just died, didn't care that he needed time off, didn't care that he showed up late because he couldn't find childcare, so he lost the job, then the car, then the house. A cousin in Seattle offered a couch and a lead on work at a warehouse. It wasn't much, but it was something. So he sold what little they had left, bought 3 one-way tickets, and prayed this would be the reset they needed. But resets don't erase trauma. They just move it. The first twin tugs on his sleeve. Daddy? He blinks, looks down. Yeah, baby? Are we going to be okay? His chest tightens. He brushes her hair back, tucking it behind her ear. Yeah, we're going to be okay. She studies his face like she's looking for cracks. Then she nods and goes back to her juice. But she doesn't believe him. He can tell. And the truth is, he doesn't believe himself either. 2 rows behind him, a woman in her 40s leans toward her teenage daughter. I feel terrible, she whispers. The daughter glances up from her phone. Why? I was judging him. The dad. I thought... She stops, shakes her head. I don't know what I thought. The daughter looks back at row 27. He's just doing his best. I know. The mother's voice cracks. I know. But not everyone feels the same. In row 18, the businessman pulls out his laptop, opens an email, starts typing furiously. His wife glances over, sees the subject line. Complaint. Flight 482. Unacceptable passenger behavior. She closes her eyes. Doesn't say anything. He hits send. In the back of the plane, Amara sits perfectly still. Her window shade is down. Her hands are folded in her lap. Her eyes are open. But she's not seeing the cabin. She's somewhere else. She's 7 years old again, sitting in a middle seat on a red-eye flight, her father beside her, her mother on the other side. They were flying home from her grandmother's funeral. Amara was scared of the dark, scared of the sounds the plane made, scared of the turbulence that rattled the overhead bins. Her father held her hand the whole time, told her stories, sang her favorite song under his breath so only she could hear, made her laugh even though she didn't want to. And then, the turbulence got worse. A lot worse. The oxygen masks dropped, people screamed. The plane pitched hard to the left, luggage flew. A woman's head cracked against the window. Blood. Her father held her tighter. Close your eyes, baby. Close your eyes. She did. She felt his hand go limp 10 seconds later. By the time the plane made an emergency landing, he was already gone. Massive heart attack. The medics said it was instant, said he didn't suffer, but Amara didn't believe them because she heard him in those last seconds. She heard the way his breath hitched, the way his grip loosened, the way he whispered her name one last time. She never got on a plane again. Not for years. Until today. She presses her palm flat against the armrest. Her pulse is steady. Her breathing controlled, but her mind is screaming. A flight attendant passes by, pauses. You okay, hun? Amara looks up, forces a small smile. Yeah, I'm good. The attendant nods and keeps moving. Amara lowers her head, closes her eyes. She's not good. She hasn't been good in a long time. But those twins needed someone, and she couldn't just sit there. Not again. The intercom crackles. The captain's voice fills the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently cruising at 35,000 feet. Weather looks clear all the way to Seattle. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. The father exhales. Lets his head fall back against the seat. His daughters are asleep now, curled against him, paper cranes tucked under their chins. He thinks maybe, just maybe, they'll be okay. But then his phone buzzes in his pocket. He pulls it out. The screen lights up with a text from an unknown number. Is this Javon Calder? He frowns, types back. Yeah, who's this? 3 dots appear, then disappear, then reappear. Finally, a response. I'm calling from the Seattle hiring office. We need to talk. His stomach drops. What do you think that text means? Drop your prediction below. Javon stares at the screen. His thumb hovers over the keyboard, but he doesn't type. His heart hammers in his chest. The twins shift in his sleep, but they don't wake. He angles his body away from them, hunching over the phone like he's trying to hide it from the world. Another text appears. Can you call me when you land? It's important. His fingers tremble. He types. Is something wrong with the job? 3 dots. We'll discuss it when you land. That's it. No clarification, no reassurance. Just 4 words that feel like a trapdoor opening under his feet. He locks the phone, shoves it back into his pocket. His breathing is shallow now, too fast. He forces himself to slow down, in through the nose, out through the mouth. He's done this before. Panic attacks in grocery store aisles, in the DMV waiting room, in the bathroom at 2 a.m. while his daughters slept. He can't afford to fall apart. Not here, not now. But the thoughts come anyway. What if they change their mind? What if someone else took the position? What if I get to Seattle with no job, no money, and no plan? He squeezes his eyes shut. Presses his palms into his knees. The twins stir. One of them murmurs something in her sleep. He strokes her hair until she settles. Across the aisle, the woman who deleted the video earlier is watching him. Not obviously, just quick glances. She saw his face when he read that text, saw the way his whole body went rigid. She leans toward her husband, whispers something. He glances over too. Then he pulls out his wallet, flips it open, and hands his wife a $20 bill. She stands, walks to the back, returns a minute later with a bottle of water and a granola bar. She stops at row 27. Hey, she says softly. Javon looks up. His eyes are red-rimmed. She holds out the water and the bar. Thought you might need these. He hesitates. I didn't ask. I know. She smiles, small, genuine. Just take them. He does. His throat is too tight to say thank you, but she nods like she understands and walks back to her seat. Javon sets the water in the cup holder, puts the granola bar in his jacket pocket. He doesn't open either one, just stares at them like they're proof that kindness still exists somewhere in the world. But kindness doesn't pay rent, doesn't feed his daughters, doesn't fix whatever is waiting for him in Seattle. He closes his eyes and tries to pray. But the words don't come. They haven't come in a long time. 3 rows ahead, the businessman is typing again. Not an email this time, a post, social media. His wife is asleep beside him now, head tilted against the window, mouth slightly open. He glances at her once, then back at his screen. He types fast, angry. His thumbs slam against the glass. Just experienced the most inconsiderate flight of my life. Screaming kids, zero discipline, delayed takeoff. Airlines need to enforce stricter policies for passengers who can't control their children. If you can't parent, don't fly. # frustrated. # airlines # customer service. He hits post. Within seconds, the likes start rolling in. Comments too. Totally agree. Parents today are too soft. This is why I only fly first class. Should have kicked them off. He scrolls through them, nodding, vindicated. But one comment stops him. Maybe try compassion. You don't know what people are going through. He frowns, hovers over the reply button, types. Compassion doesn't excuse bad behavior. But he doesn't hit send, just stares at it, then deletes it, locks his phone, shoves it into the seat pocket in front of him. His wife stirs, opens one eye. You okay? Yeah. He doesn't look at her. Fine. She studies him for a second, then closes her eye again. Liar. He doesn't respond. Further back in row 35, a college student with headphones around his neck leans toward his friend. Did you see what that girl did? His friend nods. The one who calmed the kids? Yeah, that was crazy. Like, who even does that? Someone who's been through it, I guess. The first student pulls out his phone, opens Instagram, starts recording a story. Yo, shout out to the girl on my flight who just stopped 2 kids from melting down. Real one. Respect. He posts it, doesn't tag anyone, doesn't know Amar's name, but it doesn't matter. Within 20 minutes, the story gets reposted. Then again, someone screen records it, adds text. Faith in humanity restored. It spreads. But Amara doesn't know. She's still sitting in the back, eyes closed, hands folded, breathing controlled. She looks calm, peaceful even. But inside, she's drowning. Because what she didn't tell the twins, what she didn't tell anyone, is that she's not just afraid of planes. She's afraid of herself, of what happens when she gets too close, when she cares too much, when she lets people in and they leave anyway. Her father left. Not by choice, but he still left. Her mother left too, 2 years later. Couldn't handle the grief, couldn't look at Amara without seeing him. So she dropped her off at her grandmother's house one afternoon and never came back. No call, no letter, just gone. Amara spent the next 12 years convincing herself she didn't need anyone. That connection was a trap. That caring was weakness. But then she saw those twins. Saw the fear in their eyes, heard the way they screamed for their mother, and she broke her own rule. She cared. And now she's terrified of what comes next. A flight attendant walks by, stops, crouches beside her row. Excuse me, miss? Amara opens her eyes. Yeah? I just wanted to say thank you for what you did back there. That was really something. Amara nods, doesn't smile. It's fine. The attendant hesitates. Are you okay? Yeah. Amara's voice is flat. I'm fine. The attendant doesn't believe her, but she stands anyway. Well, if you need anything, let me know. I will. The attendant walks away. Amara closes her eyes again. She's not fine. She hasn't been fine since she was 7 years old. But she's good at pretending. Back in row 27, one of the twins wakes up. She blinks slowly, disoriented. Looks around the cabin, then down at the paper crane in her hand. She unfolds one of the wings carefully, smoothing it out, then folds it back. Her father notices. You okay, baby? She looks up at him. Daddy, who was that lady? I don't know. He glances toward the back of the plane. But she helped you. That's all that matters. The twin nods. I want to say thank you. Javon's chest tightens. Maybe when we land, okay? Okay. She closes her eyes again, drifts back to sleep, but Javon stays awake. His mind won't stop. The text, the job, the unknown, it all loops in his head like a song he can't turn off. He pulls out his phone again, stares at the message, reads it over and over. We need to talk. 4 words. 4 words that could destroy everything. He locks the screen, puts the phone face down on his lap, and waits. The plane hums, the cabin breathes, people sleep, people scroll, people exist in their own little worlds, unaware of the battles being fought 3 rows over. But Javon knows. He knows that every second he's in the air is 1 second closer to a conversation that could end him. And there's nothing he can do but sit and wait and hope. The intercom crackles. The captain's voice fills the cabin again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're beginning our initial descent into Seattle. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing. Javon's stomach lurches. The twins wake up, groggy, confused. Are we there? One of them asks. Almost, baby, almost. The plane begins to drop, slow, steady. The pressure builds in Javon's ears. He looks out the window, sees the city lights below, thousands of them, glowing, alive, unaware. And somewhere down there, a phone is ringing, waiting for him to answer. Do you think the job is gone, or is something else waiting for him? Comment your theory. The wheels touch down with a jolt that runs through the cabin like a shockwave. The engines roar and reverse. The brakes scream. People grip their armrests. Phones buzz back to life as the plane rolls toward the gate, pinging with messages, notifications, missed calls. The world reconnects. Javon doesn't check his phone. Not yet. He keeps his eyes on his daughters. They're awake now, looking out the window at the lights blurring past. One of them presses her hand against the glass. The other still clutches her paper crane. The plane slows, turns. The jetway connects with a hollow thunk. The seatbelt sign dings off. Immediately, people stand. The cabin fills with the sounds of overhead bins opening, bags being yanked down, zippers zipping. Everyone in a rush, everyone moving forward, except Javon. He stays seated. His daughters watch the commotion around them with wide eyes. He holds their hands, squeezes gently. We're here, he says. They nod. But they don't move either. The businessman in the tailored suit is one of the first off the plane. He doesn't look back, doesn't glance at row 27, just strides up the aisle with his carry-on wheeling behind him, phone already pressed to his ear. His wife follows a few steps behind, slower, quieter. She glances back once. Her eyes find Javon's. She mouths something. Maybe sorry. Maybe something else. Then she's gone. The older man with the veteran's cap stops at row 27 on his way out. He looks down at Javon, nods once. You take care of those girls. Javon nods back. I will. The man moves on. The woman who gave him the water and granola bar pauses too. She doesn't say anything. Just touches his shoulder briefly and keeps walking. Javon feels it all. Every small kindness, every silent acknowledgement. It doesn't fix anything, but it helps him breathe. Finally, the aisle clears. He stands, helps his daughters with their jackets, grabs the single duffel bag from the overhead bin. Everything they own fits in one bag now. He tries not to think about that. They walk up the aisle. The twins hold his hands. Their steps are small, uncertain. He keeps them close. As they pass row 35, the college student who posted the Instagram story looks up. Hey man, your girls okay? Javon stops, blinks. Yeah, they're okay, thank you. The student nods. You're a good dad. Javon's throat tightens. He doesn't respond, just nods and keeps moving. They step off the plane into the jetway. The air smells like recycled everything. The fluorescent lights hum. A flight attendant stands at the door, smiling at passengers as they leave. When Javon passes, she stops him. Sir? He turns. I just wanted to say... She pauses, chooses her words carefully. You're doing a great job. He doesn't trust his voice, just nods. She smiles. Safe travels. He walks into the terminal. The noise hits him immediately. Announcements, rolling luggage, voices blending into a low roar. The twins press closer to him. He guides them toward baggage claim, but his mind is somewhere else. His phone, the text, the call he has to make. He finds a quiet corner near a closed Hudson News, sets the duffel bag down. Pulls out his phone. The screen lights up. 17 notifications. Most of them are junk, but one stands out. A voicemail from the same unknown number. His hand shakes as he lifts the phone to his ear. The voice on the other end is calm, professional, female. Hi, Mr. Calder. This is Simone Grant from Pacific Logistics. I tried calling earlier, but I understand you were in the air. I wanted to reach out before you got too far from the airport. There's been a development with your position. It's nothing bad. Actually, it's good news. But I need to speak with you as soon as possible. Please call me back at this number. Thanks. The message ends. Javon listens to it again, then a third time. His brain tries to process the words. Good news. She said good news, but people say that when they're about to soften a blow. He's heard it before. Good news? We're not evicting you this week. Good news. The payment plan was approved, but you'll be paying until you're 70. Good news. It's never actually good. He calls the number. It rings twice. Simone Grant. Hi, this is Javon Calder. You left me a message. Yes, Mr. Calder. Thank you for calling back. Are you in Seattle? Just landed. Perfect. I won't keep you long. I know it's late, but I wanted to let you know. Your start date has been moved up. Javon blinks. Moved up? Yes. Instead of starting Monday, we'd like you to come in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. There's been a shift in staffing and we need someone reliable on the floor immediately. You came highly recommended, and we think you're a great fit. He doesn't say anything. Can't. Mr. Calder? I'm here. He exhales. I thought you were calling to tell me the job was gone. There's a pause on the other end, then a soft laugh. Not mocking, understanding. No, the job is very much yours, and if tomorrow works, there's a signing bonus, $250, cash, to help you get settled. Javon's knees almost give out. He leans against the wall. His daughters are sitting on the floor now, playing with their paper cranes. They don't hear the conversation, don't see their father's face crumbling with relief. Yes, he says, voice breaking. Yes, tomorrow works. Great, I'll text you the address. Welcome to Pacific Logistics, Mr. Calder. Thank you. The call ends. He slides down the wall until he's sitting on the floor. His phone is still in his hand. His vision blurs. He wipes his eyes quickly before his daughters notice. One of them looks over. Daddy, are you sad? He shakes his head, smiles. A real one this time. No, baby, I'm happy. Why? Because we're going to be okay. She studies his face, then smiles too. Okay. He pulls them both into a hug, holds them tight, breathes them in. For the first time in months, he feels something other than fear. Hope. It's fragile. Barely there. But it's enough. Across the terminal, near the escalators leading to ground transportation, Amara stands with her small backpack slung over one shoulder. She's watching. Not obviously, just glancing over every few seconds. She sees Javon hugging his daughters, sees the way his shoulders relax, the way his breathing evens out. She doesn't know what happened, doesn't know about the phone call, but she can see the shift, the relief, and something in her chest loosens too. She turns to leave, but one of the twins spots her. Daddy, look, it's the lady! Javon's head snaps up. He sees Amara. Their eyes meet across the terminal. She freezes. He stands, picks up his daughters, walks toward her. She doesn't run, doesn't move, just waits. When he reaches her, he doesn't know what to say. How do you thank someone for saving you when they don't even know they did? Hi, says. Hi, she says back. The twins wiggle out of his arms. The first one holds up her paper crane. Look, I still have it. Amara smiles. I see that. You're taking good care of it. Can you teach me how to make one? The second twin asks. Amara hesitates, glances at Javon. He nods. She kneels down, pulls a piece of paper from her backpack. It's a receipt, crumpled, but it works. She folds it carefully, slowly. The twins watch her move. Javon watches too. When she's done, she hands it to the second twin. There, now you have two. The twin beams. Thank you. Amara stands, looks at Javon. They're good kids. They are. His voice is thick. Thank you for what you did on the plane. I don't know what would have happened if you would have figured it out. Her voice is quiet but firm. You're their dad. You would have found a way. He doesn't argue, just nods. She adjusts her backpack. I should go. Wait. He reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out a crumpled $10 bill. It's all he has. Please, take this, for helping us. She stares at it, then at him. I don't want your money. I know, but keep it. Her voice is softer now. Use it for them. He hesitates, then nods, puts it back. She starts to walk away, but the first twin runs up and hugs her leg. Amara looks down, surprised. The twin doesn't say anything, just holds on. Amara's hand hovers, then slowly, gently, she rests it on the girl's head. You're gonna be okay, she whispers. All of you. The twin lets go, runs back to her father. Amara walks away. This time she doesn't stop, doesn't look back, just disappears into the crowd. Javon watches until he can't see her anymore. Then he picks up his daughters, grabs the duffel bag, and walks toward the exit, toward the city, toward tomorrow. But as he steps outside into the cold Seattle air, he doesn't know that 3 people just posted about what happened on that plane. Doesn't know that his face and Amara's are already circulating online. Doesn't know that someone in that terminal recorded the whole thing. And he definitely doesn't know that the businessman's post has been screenshot, shared, quoted, and that people are coming for him. The internet doesn't forget, and it doesn't forgive. Javon doesn't check social media, doesn't scroll through Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. He doesn't have time for that. Never has. His phone is for calls, texts, and the occasional Google search when the twins ask questions he doesn't know the answers to. So when he climbs into the back of a shared lift with his daughters and his duffel bag, he has no idea that his face is currently loading on thousands of screens across the country. The driver is a woman in her 50s with silver streaks in her hair and a rosary hanging from the rearview mirror. She glances at them in the mirror. Where to? Javon gives her the address. His cousin's apartment in Rainier Valley. She nods and pulls away from the curb. The twins are asleep within 5 minutes, heads leaning against each other, paper cranes still in their hands. Javon stares out the window. The city passes in flashes, neon signs, empty sidewalks, reflections in puddles from earlier rain. He doesn't see any of it. His mind is already in the morning, already planning. The interview clothes he doesn't have, the daycare he can't afford, the lies he'll have to tell his cousin about how long they'll need the couch. But for now, right now, they have a place to sleep. And tomorrow, he has a job. That's enough. It has to be. Across the city, in a high-rise condo overlooking Elliott Bay, the businessman from the plane, David Garrison, pours himself a glass of scotch. His wife is in the bedroom unpacking. He stands at the window, phone in hand, scrolling through the replies to his post. Most of them agree with him, pat him on the back, validate his frustration, but there's a growing number of comments that don't. You sound privileged and heartless. Those kids just lost their mom. Have some compassion. This is what's wrong with people. Zero empathy. He scrolls past them, keeps reading the ones that agree with him, but the negative ones keep coming. Faster now, more of them. Then he sees it, a reply with a video attached. He clicks. It's shaky, shot from a few rows back, but it's clear enough. The twins screaming, him turning around in his seat, his face, his words. If he can't handle them, why bring them on a plane? The caption underneath reads, "This man complained about crying kids on a flight. Turns out their mother just died. Maybe don't be trash." His stomach drops. The video has been viewed 43,000 times in 2 hours. The comments are worse. Imagine being this heartless. I hope someone recognizes him. Rich guy in a suit complaining about grieving children. Disgusting. Someone find out where he works. His hands start shaking. He scrolls. The post has been shared 600 times. People are tagging news outlets, tagging influencers. Someone already identified the airline. Someone else posted his LinkedIn profile. His wife is asleep beside him in the hotel room. They landed an hour ago, checked in. She went straight to bed. He stayed up scrolling, and now he's staring at his own face. A screenshot from someone's phone, his expression twisted in anger. The caption reads, "This man complained about grieving children on a plane. Let's make sure his employer knows." 12,000 retweets, 46,000 likes, hundreds of comments. What a piece of garbage. Someone find out where he works. Imagine being this heartless. His poor wife. He refreshes the page. The numbers climb. 15,000 likes now, 20,000, comments flooding in, screenshots being shared. His face, his name, his company. Someone already found his LinkedIn. His hands are shaking. He tries to delete his original post, but it's too late. It's been screenshot 100 times, quoted, mocked, dissected. He refreshes. The replies multiply. Imagine complaining about grieving children. Hope your boss sees this. This is what privilege looks like. Someone find out where this guy works. His wife stirs beside him in bed. They're in a hotel near the airport. Too late to drive home. She rolls over, half asleep. David, put your phone away. He doesn't respond. Just scrolls and watches his notifications explode. Someone found his LinkedIn, posted it in the replies. Someone else found his company, tagged them. Is this the kind of person you employ? Imagine being this cruel. He complained about grieving children. His hands start to shake. He tries to delete the original post, but it's too late. It's been screenshot, shared, reposted, quoted, memed. His face is in some of them, blurred but recognizable. His wife stirs beside him in the hotel bed. David, it's 2 a.m. What are you doing? He doesn't answer, just stares at his phone, at the hundreds of comments, the thousands of shares. Disgusting behavior. Imagine being this entitled. Someone find out where this guy works. His hands start to shake. David? His wife sits up. What's wrong? He doesn't answer, just keeps scrolling. The post has been screenshot, shared to Twitter, to Facebook, to Reddit. People are dissecting every word, calling him out, calling him worse. Someone found his LinkedIn, posted it in the comments. Someone else found his company email. His hands go cold. David, what's wrong? He locks his phone, sets it face down on the nightstand. Nothing. But his wife knows. She always knows. She doesn't push, just turns over and closes her eyes. He lies awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if his boss will see the posts, if HR will get calls, if his name is about to become a cautionary tale. He doesn't sleep. Across the city, in a cramped apartment on the 3rd floor of a building that smells like mildew and frying oil, Javon lies on a pull-out couch with his daughters curled against him. His cousin's place, 2 bedrooms, 4 people already living here. Now 3 more. But it's warm. It's safe. And tomorrow, he has a job. The twins are asleep. He's staring at the ceiling. His phone is on his chest. He checks it one more time before closing his eyes. No new messages, no emergencies, just silence. He exhales, lets his head sink into the pillow. His body is exhausted, but his mind won't stop. It keeps replaying the flight, the screaming, the stares, the moment Amara knelt beside his daughters. He doesn't know her last name, doesn't know where she's from, doesn't know if he'll ever see her again. But he knows he owes her something he can never repay. Across the city, in a motel room with thin walls and a flickering bathroom light, Amara sits on the edge of a lumpy bed. Her backpack is on the floor. Her shoes are still on. She hasn't moved in 20 minutes. Her phone is in her hand. The screen is dark. She's not scrolling, not texting, just holding it. She's thinking about the twins, about their father, about the way they looked at her like she was someone worth trusting. She hasn't been trusted in a long time. Her phone buzzes. A notification. She ignores it. It buzzes again and again. She frowns, unlocks the screen. Instagram, 3 notifications, then 5, then 12. She opens the app. Her face fills the screen. A video, grainy, taken from someone's phone. The angle is bad, shaky. But it's her, kneeling beside the twins, handing them the paper cranes. The audio is muffled, but the caption is clear. This woman stopped 2 kids from having a meltdown on a plane. We need more people like her. Faith in humanity had our hero on a plane. Her stomach drops. The video has 12,000 views, 300 comments, growing by the second. She scrolls. Who is she? Someone find her. This made me cry. We need more people like this. She's a literal angel. Her hands start to shake. She locks her phone, shoves it into her pocket, looks around the terminal like someone might recognize her, but no one's paying attention. Everyone's in their own world. She walks faster, toward the exit, toward anywhere but here. But her phone keeps buzzing. Notifications, tags, shares. It doesn't stop. Across the city, in a hotel room near Pike Place Market, the businessman sits on the edge of his bed. His wife is in the bathroom. The door is closed. The shower is running. He's scrolling through his phone. His post has 4,000 likes now, 600 comments. Most of them agree with him, validate him, tell him he's right. But then he sees it, a reply with 10,000 likes, a quote tweet. It says, "Imagine being this heartless. Those kids lost their mother. Have some empathy." His stomach tightens. He keeps scrolling. More quotes, more replies, screenshots of his LinkedIn profile, his company bio. Someone found his full name, his job title, his employer. David Pritchett works for Carlson and Meyer Financial. Let's see if they support this kind of behavior. His hands go cold. He refreshes. Another comment. Already emailed them. This guy doesn't deserve a platform. He searches his own name on Twitter. His post has been reposted 15 times, each one with thousands of engagements. His face is in some of them. Screenshots from his profile picture. Someone made a meme. His face next to the caption, "When you hate kids more than you love decency." His wife comes out of the bathroom, sees his face. "David?" He doesn't answer, just keeps scrolling. "David, what's wrong?" He looks up. "They're coming after me." "Who?" "Everyone." She takes the phone from his hand, reads. Her face goes pale. "Oh my God. I didn't say anything wrong. I was just... You called out a grieving father on the internet. What did you think would happen?" "I didn't know they lost their mother. How was I supposed to know?" She stares at him. "You didn't ask. You didn't care. You just wanted to complain." He opens his mouth, closes it. She's right. And he knows it. She hands the phone back. "You need to delete it. It's too late. People already screenshot it. Then apologize." "I apologize, David." He stares at the phone, at the comments, at the damage spreading faster than he can control. He types, deletes, types again. His hands are shaking. Finally, he posts. "I want to sincerely apologize for my earlier post. I was frustrated and didn't consider the full situation. I've learned that the family was dealing with a recent loss, and I deeply regret my words. I should have shown more compassion. I'm sorry." He hits send. Within minutes, the replies start. Too late. "Damage is done. You only apologize because you got caught." He locks his phone, sets it face down on the nightstand. His wife sits beside him, doesn't say anything, just sits there. And for the first time in years, David Pritchett understands what it feels like to be judged by strangers. Back at the airport, Javon is loading his daughters into a cab. The driver helps with the duffel bag. The twins are half asleep already, leaning against each other in the back seat. Javon slides in beside them, gives the driver his cousin's address. The cab pulls away from the curb. Javon watches the terminal lights fade in the rearview mirror. He doesn't know about the posts, doesn't know his face is online, doesn't know that by tomorrow morning, thousands of people will know his story. He just knows that tonight, for the first time in months, he can sleep without wondering if he'll have a roof over his head tomorrow. He closes his eyes. The twins lean against him. The city lights blur past the window, and somewhere in the distance, Amara sits on a bus. Heading south, away from the airport, away from the people, away from the noise. Her phone is off now, buried at the bottom of her backpack. She stares out the window at the rain starting to fall. The streets are slick, reflective, empty. She thinks about the twins, about their father, about the way they hugged her, the way they looked at her like she was someone worth remembering. And for the first time in years, she wonders if maybe, just maybe, she is. What do you think happens when Javon finds out he's going viral? And will Amara ever see the twins again? Comment below. Javon wakes to his phone vibrating on the floor beside the pull-out couch. The room is still dark. His cousin's apartment is silent, except for the hum of the refrigerator and the faint sound of traffic outside. His daughters are pressed against him, warm and still. He reaches down, grabs the phone, squints at the screen. 6:43 a.m., 11 missed calls, 27 text messages, 49 notifications from apps he doesn't remember downloading. His heart kicks into his throat. He sits up carefully, trying not to wake the twins, unlocks the phone. The first text is from a number he doesn't recognize. "Is this Javon Calder? I'm a producer with Como News. We'd love to talk to you about what happened on your flight yesterday." He blinks, reads it again, scrolls to the next message. "Hi Javon, I'm reaching out on behalf of Good Morning America. We saw the video and would love to feature your story." Another one. "Mr. Calder, I'm a reporter with the Seattle Times. Can we schedule an interview?" His hands start to shake. He scrolls faster. Most of the messages are similar. News outlets, bloggers, podcasters. People he's never heard of asking for interviews, offering to share his story, wanting to know more, but he doesn't know what story they're talking about. He opens Instagram. He rarely uses it. The app takes a second to load. When it does, his notifications are in the hundreds. Tags, mentions, comments. He clicks on the first tag. A video loads, shaky, filmed from a few rows back, his daughters, screaming, him sitting between them, head down, shoulders hunched, then Amara walking up the aisle, kneeling, handing them the paper cranes. The audio is muffled, but the caption is clear. Single dad's twin daughters were screaming on a plane after losing their mom. Then this woman stood up and changed everything. Faith in humanity restored. The video has 230,000 views, 4,000 comments, shared 1,800 times. Javon's chest tightens. He scrolls through the comments. This made me sob. We need more people like her. That dad is doing his best. People are so quick to judge. Who's the woman? Someone find her. I was on this flight. The guy in the suit was so rude. He keeps scrolling. Someone posted a follow-up video, a screenshot of a deleted post, the businessman's face, his name, his company, the original complaint he made about the flight, and underneath it, hundreds of replies tearing him apart. Imagine complaining about grieving children. His company needs to fire him. This is disgusting behavior. Javon's stomach turns. He locks his phone, sets it on the floor, presses his palms into his eyes. He didn't ask for this, didn't want this. He just wanted to get his daughters to Seattle without falling apart. And now strangers are watching the worst moment of his life on repeat, judging, commenting, sharing. He feels exposed, raw, like someone ripped his skin off and put him on display. One of the twins stirs, opens her eyes. "Daddy?" He forces a smile. "Hey baby, you okay?" She nods, rubs her eyes. "I'm hungry." "I know, I'll make you something in a minute." She closes her eyes again, drifts back to sleep. Javon picks up his phone, opens the messages again, deletes most of them, but one catches his eye. It's from Simone Grant, the woman from Pacific Logistics. "Good morning, Javon. I saw the news coverage this morning. Just wanted to check in and make sure you're okay. You're still expected at 9. See you then." News coverage. His hands shake as he opens Twitter. Searches his own name. Hundreds of results, articles, threads, screenshots. His face, his daughters' faces. Blurred but recognizable. A local news station posted a segment. Viral video shows heartwarming moment on Seattle-bound flight. The thumbnail is a still from the video. Amara kneeling beside his daughters. He clicks. The video autoplays. A news anchor with perfect hair and a sympathetic smile introduces the story. A single father and his twin daughters were on a flight from Boston to Seattle when the girls began crying uncontrollably. But what happened next has the internet talking. They play the clip. Then cut to an interview with someone who was on the plane, a woman Javon doesn't recognize. She talks about how scared the girls were, how some passengers were cruel, how Amara stepped in and saved the moment. The anchor comes back on screen. "We reached out to the father, Javon Calder, but he has not responded to requests for comment. The woman in the video has also not been identified. If you know her, please reach out to us." Javon closes the app. His hands are shaking so hard he almost drops the phone. He doesn't want to be a story. Doesn't want his daughter's grief turned into content. Doesn't want strangers dissecting the worst day of their lives and deciding if he's a good father or not. But it's already out there, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. His cousin stumbles out of the bedroom, rubbing his eyes. "Man, your phone's been going off all morning. What's going on?" Javon hands him the phone. "Look." His cousin takes it, scrolls. His eyes widen. "Yo, is this you?" "Yeah." "Bro, you're viral." "I know. This is crazy. You're, like, famous. I don't want to be famous. His cousin hands the phone back. Too late for that. Javon stands, walks to the bathroom, splashes water on his face, stares at himself in the mirror. His eyes are bloodshot. His face is gaunt. He looks like he's aged 10 years in 3 months. His phone buzzes again. Another message, another interview request, another stranger asking for a piece of him. He turns the phone off, shoves it in his pocket. He can't deal with this right now. He has to get ready for work, has to drop his daughters off somewhere, has to figure out how to survive the next 24 hours. But as he steps out of the bathroom, his cousin is standing in the hallway, scrolling on his own phone. Yo, they found the businessman. Javon stops. What? The guy who complained about your kids. They found his LinkedIn, his job. People are blowing up his company's social media, demanding they fire him. Javon's stomach twists. I didn't want that. Doesn't matter what you wanted. The internet's on it now. Javon takes his cousin's phone, reads the comments, hundreds of them, thousands, people calling for David Garrison's job, his reputation, his life. Fire him. He doesn't deserve to work anywhere. Make an example out of him. Javon scrolls, finds David's apology post, reads it. It sounds sincere, desperate even, but the replies are merciless. Too late. You're only sorry because you got caught. Actions have consequences. Javon hands the phone back. He doesn't feel victorious, doesn't feel satisfied, just tired and sad, because he knows what it's like to be judged by people who don't know the full story. And now David Garrison is learning that lesson too. But Javon didn't ask for this, didn't want revenge. He just wanted to get his daughters through a flight. And now the whole world is watching. Across the city, in his high-rise condo, David Garrison sits at his kitchen table with his laptop open. His wife is making coffee. Neither of them slept. His phone has been buzzing nonstop since midnight. Emails, calls, messages, most of them hateful. You're disgusting. Hope you lose your job. Karma's coming for you. But one email stands out. It's from his boss. Subject line, we need to talk. David's hands shake as he opens it. David, I've been made aware of a social media post you made regarding a recent flight. This has generated significant negative attention for both you and the company. We need to discuss this immediately. Please come to my office at 8 a.m. David closes the laptop, drops his head into his hands. His wife sets a mug of coffee in front of him. What did it say? I'm getting fired. She doesn't argue, just sits beside him. Maybe you should have thought about that before you posted. I didn't think. Exactly. You didn't think. Her voice isn't angry, just tired. You never do. He looks at her. What's that supposed to mean? She stares into her coffee. You complained about grieving children, David, on the internet. What did you think would happen? I didn't know they were grieving. You didn't ask, you didn't care. You just wanted to be right. He opens his mouth, closes it, because she's right, and he knows it. She stands. I'm going to my sister's for a few days. What? I need space from this. From you. You're leaving? Not permanently, but I can't be here right now. She walks to the bedroom, starts packing a bag. David sits at the table, alone, staring at his coffee, at his phone, at the wreckage of his life. And for the first time, he wonders if maybe, just maybe, he deserved this. Across the city, Amara sits in a diner booth with a cup of black coffee she hasn't touched. Her phone is face down on the table. She knows it's buzzing, knows people are looking for her, but she doesn't care. A waitress stops by. You okay, hun? Amara nods. Yeah, just tired. The waitress refills her coffee even though she hasn't drunk any. Let me know if you need anything. Amara nods again. The waitress walks away. She picks up her phone, unlocks it. The notifications are overwhelming. Tags, shares, messages from strangers. People calling her a hero, an angel, an inspiration. But she doesn't feel like any of those things. She feels like a fraud, because the truth is, she didn't help those twins for them. She helped them for herself, to prove she wasn't broken, to prove she could still care, to prove she was still worth something. And now the whole world thinks she's a saint. She locks her phone, pushes it away, stares out the window at the rain, and wonders if anyone will ever know the truth. Javon stands outside the Pacific Logistics warehouse at 8:57 a.m. The building is massive. Gray concrete, rolling metal doors, forklifts beeping somewhere inside. He's wearing the only clean shirt he has left, a button-down with a small stain near the collar he tried to scrub out in his cousin's sink this morning. It didn't come out. He left his daughters with his cousin's girlfriend. She promised to watch them until he got back. He didn't have a choice. His phone is still off, buried in his jacket pocket. He can't think about the messages, the videos, the strangers. Not right now. Right now, he needs this job. He walks through the front door. A woman at the reception desk looks up. She's young, early 20s, bright smile. "Can I help you?" "I'm Javon Calder. I have a meeting with Simone Grant." Her eyes widen, just for a second. Then she catches herself. "Oh, yes, she's expecting you. One moment." She picks up the phone, whispers something Javon can't hear, hangs up. "She'll be right out." Javon nods, stands by the door. His hands are in his pockets. He's trying not to fidget, trying not to think about whether she recognized him, whether she saw the video, whether this whole thing is about to blow up in his face. A door opens. A woman steps out, tall, dark skin, sharp blazer, Simone Grant. She walks toward him with her hand extended. "Javon, good to finally meet you in person." He shakes her hand. "Thank you for the opportunity." She smiles. "Let's talk in my office." He follows her down a hallway. Fluorescent lights, motivational posters on the walls, teamwork, integrity, excellence, words that feel hollow when you're just trying to survive. Her office is small but organized. Desk, 2 chairs, a window overlooking the warehouse floor. She gestures to a chair. He sits. She closes the door and sits across from him. "So," she says, "how are you holding up?" Javon blinks. "I'm okay." She tilts her head. "I saw the video, Javon." His stomach drops. I'm not bringing it up to make you uncomfortable. I'm bringing it up because I want you to know that it doesn't change anything. You're still hired. You still start today. And if you need time to process everything that's happening, we can work with you." His throat tightens. "I don't need time. I need to work." She studies him for a moment, then nods. "Okay. But if that changes, you let me know." "I will." She slides a folder across the desk. "Here's your paperwork, W-4, direct deposit form, employee handbook, and this," she pulls out an envelope. "Your signing bonus, $250, cash, like I promised." Javon takes the envelope. His hands shake as he opens it. 10 20s, 2 10s, 5 1s. He stares at it like it might disappear. "Thank you," he whispers. Simone leans back in her chair. "You've got a tough road ahead, Javon. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But you're here. You showed up. That says a lot." He nods. Doesn't trust his voice. "Your shift starts at 10. You'll be on the floor with Marcus. He's been here 8 years. Good guy. He'll show you the ropes. Any questions?" "No, I'm ready." She stands, extends her hand again. He shakes it. "Welcome to Pacific Logistics." He walks out of her office with the envelope in his pocket and the paperwork under his arm. The receptionist gives him a small smile as he passes. He doesn't know if it's pity or kindness. Doesn't care. He has a job. He has money. His daughters will eat tonight. That's all that matters. But as he steps onto the warehouse floor, his phone buzzes in his pocket. Once, twice, 3 times. He pulls it out, turns it on. The screen floods with notifications, messages, calls, emails. One stands out, a text from an unknown number. "Mr. Calder, this is Rebecca Kim from the Today Show. We'd love to fly you and your daughters to New York for an interview. All expenses paid. Please call me." He stares at it, reads it again. All expenses paid. New York, national television. He locks the phone, shoves it back in his pocket. He's not going to New York. He's not doing interviews. He's not turning his daughter's grief into a spectacle. But the thought lingers. All expenses paid. How much would that be? $1,000? $2,000? Enough to get his own place? Enough to buy the twins new clothes? Enough to stop depending on his cousin's charity? He shakes his head, pushes the thought away, focuses on the man walking toward him. Marcus, tall, broad shoulders, warm smile. "You Javon?" "Yeah." Marcus extends his hand. "Welcome to the team, man. Let's get you set up." Javon shakes his hand, follows him deeper into the warehouse. the smell of cardboard and diesel fuel, the sound of machinery, the rhythm of work. And for the first time in months, he feels like maybe, just maybe, he can do this. Across the city, David Garrison sits in his boss's office. The door is closed. The blinds are drawn. His boss, a man named Richard, late 50s, graying hair, sits behind his desk with his hands folded. He doesn't look angry, just tired. "Do you understand the position you've put us in?" Richard asks. David nods. "I do. Our clients are calling. Our employees are uncomfortable. Our social media is flooded with people demanding we fire you." I apologized. "You apologized because you got caught." Richard leans forward. "David, I've known you for 6 years. You're good at your job. You bring in clients. You close deals. But this?" He gestures to his computer screen. "This is indefensible." David's jaw tightens. "So you're firing me?" Richard doesn't answer right away, just stares at him. "We're putting you on leave, effective immediately. 2 weeks, unpaid. During that time, we'll assess the situation and decide whether you have a future here." "Unpaid?" "You're lucky it's not worse." David stands. "This is ridiculous. I made one comment. One. One comment that went viral. One comment that made us look bad. One comment that showed a complete lack of empathy." Richard stands too. "Go home, David. Think about whether this job is worth keeping, because right now, I'm not sure it is." David walks out of the office. His coworkers don't look at him. They stare at their screens, pretend to be busy. But he feels their judgment, hears their whispers. He packs his desk in silence. A photo of his wife, a coffee mug, a stress ball shaped like a football. It all fits in a small cardboard box. He walks to the elevator. No one says goodbye. When he gets to his car, he sits in the driver's seat and doesn't move. Just stares at the steering wheel. His phone buzzes. A text from his wife. "I'm staying at my sister's for the week. Don't call me." He locks the phone, sets it in the cup holder, puts his head in his hands, and for the first time in his life, David Garrison cries. In a diner on the south side of Seattle, Amara sits in the same booth she's been in for 3 hours. The waitress has stopped asking if she's okay, just refills her coffee and leaves her alone. Her phone is on the table, face up now. She's scrolling through the comments, the messages, the tags. People are desperate to find her, to thank her, to interview her, to make her famous. But she doesn't want to be found, because the more she reads, the more she realizes people have built her into something she's not. They're calling her brave, selfless, a guardian angel. They're saying she restored their faith in humanity. But they don't know the truth. They don't know that she almost didn't get on that plane, that she sat at the gate for an hour, paralyzed, convinced that if she stepped onto that aircraft, she'd die just like her father did. They don't know that when those twins started screaming, her first instinct was to run, to get off the plane, to save herself. They don't know that she only stood up because staying seated felt worse than facing her fear. They don't know that she's not a hero. She's just a broken person who got lucky. Her phone buzzes, a new message from a number she doesn't recognize. "Amara, this is your Aunt Candace. I saw the video. I know you don't want to talk to me, but I'm proud of you. Call me when you're ready." Amara stares at the message. She hasn't spoken to her aunt in 5 years, not since her mother left, not since she was passed around from relative to relative until she aged out of the system. She deletes the message, locks her phone, picks up her coffee. It's cold now. She drinks it anyway. The bell above the diner door chimes. A man walks in, middle-aged, scruffy beard. He glances around. His eyes land on Amara. He stares for a second too long. She looks away, pretends not to notice. He walks to the counter, orders coffee, but he keeps glancing back at her. She can feel it. Finally, he walks over, stands beside her booth. "Excuse me, are you the woman from the video, the one on the plane?" Amara's chest tightens. "No." "Are you sure? You look just like—" "I'm not her." He hesitates, then nods. "Okay, sorry." He walks back to the counter. Amara stands, throws a $10 bill on the table, grabs her backpack, walks out of the diner without looking back. The rain has stopped. The streets are slick, reflective. She doesn't know where she's going, just walks, one foot in front of the other. Her phone buzzes again. She ignores it, but as she rounds the corner, she sees it. A newspaper stand, the headline on the front page of the Seattle Times. Viral video shows heartwarming act of kindness on flight, but who is the mystery woman? Underneath the headline is a still from the video. Amara, kneeling beside the twins. Her face is clear, unmistakable. She stares at it. Her reflection in the glass overlays the image. Two versions of herself, the one the world sees and the one she knows. She turns away, keeps walking, and hopes, prays that no one else recognizes her. Will Amara stay hidden? Will Javon take the interview offer? And what happens to David next? Comment your theory. 3 days pass. Javon works 12-hour shifts at the warehouse, lifting, loading, sorting. His body aches in places he didn't know could hurt, but the paychecks are coming, and that's all that matters. His daughters are adjusting, slowly. They ask about their mother less. They sleep through the night more. They fold paper cranes at the kitchen table while he makes dinner from whatever's left in his cousin's pantry. But the world hasn't forgotten. The video has 4 million views now. News outlets are still calling. The Today Show, Good Morning America, Dr. Phil, Oprah's people, they all want the same thing. His story, his pain, his daughter's grief, packaged, polished, sold. He ignores them all, but one message catches his attention. It comes on a Thursday afternoon while he's on his lunch break. A text from an unknown number. Mr. Calder, my name is Amara Ross. I was the woman on the plane. I hope your daughters are doing well. I don't want attention. I just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you. Javon stares at the screen, reads it 3 times. His hands shake as he types back. They're doing better. Thank you for everything. I wish I could repay you. 3 dots appear, then disappear, then reappear. You don't owe me anything. Just take care of them. That's enough. Javon saves her number. He doesn't text back right away, just stares at her name on his screen. Amara Ross, the woman who saved them without asking for anything in return. He finishes his shift, drives back to his cousin's apartment. The twins are on the couch watching cartoons. They light up when they see him. Daddy! He scoops them both into his arms, holds them tight, breathes them in. They smell like the lavender soap his cousin's girlfriend uses, like safety, like home. Guess what? He says. What? They ask in unison. I found us a place, our own place. We move in next week. Their eyes go wide. Really? Really? They scream, jump, hug him so hard he almost falls over. He laughs, a real laugh, the first one in months. His cousin walks out of the kitchen grinning. You told them? Just now. That's what's up, man. Proud of you. Javon nods. Can't speak. His throat is too tight. That night, after the twins fall asleep, Javon sits on the pull-out couch with his phone. He scrolls through the messages, the interview requests, the offers. Most of them are gone now. The news cycle moved on, found a new story, a new tragedy, a new hero. But one message remains, the Today Show, still offering, still waiting. He stares at it, then deletes it. He's not a story, he's a father, and his daughters deserve privacy more than they deserve fame. He opens his messages, finds Amara's number, types, Thank you for everything. I don't know if I'll ever see you again, but I hope you know you changed our lives. He hits send, locks his phone, closes his eyes, and for the first time in a long time, he feels peace. Across the city, David Garrison sits in his living room, alone. His wife hasn't come back. His leave from work turned into a resignation. Mutual, they called it. But he knows the truth. He was pushed out, quietly, cleanly, with a severance package and a non-disclosure agreement. His social media accounts are deleted. His LinkedIn is private. His name still shows up in searches, but the articles are fading. Buried under newer scandals, fresher outrage, he's been seeing a therapist twice a week. She asks him questions he doesn't want to answer, makes him sit with feelings he's spent his whole life avoiding. It's uncomfortable, painful, but necessary. He's learning what empathy actually means, not just saying the word, living it. His wife came back last night, didn't say much, just walked in with her suitcase and went to the bedroom. He gave her space. This morning, she made coffee, poured him a cup, sat across from him at the table. I'm not staying because I forgive you, she said. I'm staying because I want to see if you can change. He nodded. I'm trying. Try harder. He's applying for jobs now, Smaller companies, non-profit work, places where the pay is less but the purpose is more. He doesn't know if anyone will hire him. His name is still tainted, still searchable, still a liability. But he's trying, and maybe that's enough for now. In a small apartment on the edge of the city, Amara unpacks the last box. Her new place, 1 bedroom, affordable rent. A window that overlooks a parking lot, but she doesn't care. It's hers. She found a job, part-time at a community center, working with kids who've lost parents. She didn't plan it, didn't even know the position existed until she saw a flyer at the bus stop. But when she walked in for the interview and the director asked why she wanted the job, she told the truth. Because I know what it's like to lose someone, and I don't want other kids to feel as alone as I did. She started last week. The kids are shy at first, quiet, guarded, but she knows how to sit with them, how to wait, how to let them come to her when they're ready. One girl, maybe 6 years old, reminds her of the twins from the plane. Same wide eyes, same trembling hands. Yesterday, the girl folded a paper crane during craft time, held it up to Amara. "Is this right?" Amara smiled. "It's perfect." The girl beamed, took the crane home. Amara's phone buzzes on the counter. She picks it up. A text from Javon. "Thank you for everything. I don't know if I'll ever see you again, but I hope you know you changed our lives." She reads it twice, swallows hard, types back. "You changed mine too." She hits send, sets the phone down, looks around her apartment, at the empty walls, the secondhand furniture, the life she's building one piece at a time. She's not fixed, not healed, but she's trying, and maybe that's enough. 2 weeks later, Javon and his daughters move into their apartment. It's small, 1 bedroom, but it has a kitchen and a living room and windows that let in light. The twins run from room to room, laughing, exploring, claiming spaces. "This is my side," one shouts. "No, this is mine," the other argues. Javon laughs, sets down a box, looks around. The place is mostly empty, but it's theirs. No one can take it away. That night, after the twins fall asleep in their new beds, Javon sits on the floor of the living room, his back against the wall, a beer in his hand, his phone beside him. He opens Instagram, scrolls. The video is still there, still circulating, but the comments have shifted. People aren't just praising Amara anymore. They're talking about him, about single fathers, about grief, about resilience. One comment stands out. "This dad is a hero too. People forget that." Javon stares at it, then locks his phone, sets it aside. He's not a hero. He's just a man trying to survive, trying to raise his daughters, trying to keep moving forward even when everything inside him wants to stop. But maybe that's what heroism looks like. Not capes and speeches, just showing up, day after day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. He finishes his beer, stands, checks on his daughters one more time. They're curled together in one bed, even though they each have their own. Paper cranes on the nightstand. He adjusts the blanket, kisses their foreheads, whispers, "I love you," and walks out, closing the door softly behind him. Across the city, Amara sits on her apartment balcony, a mug of tea in her hands, the city lights stretched out below her. She thinks about the twins, about Javon, about the plane, about her father. She thinks about the little girl at the community center who folded the crane, about the other kids who will come, who will need someone to sit with them in their grief, someone who understands. She's found her purpose, not in fame, not in recognition, but in the quiet moments, the small connections, the shared pain that becomes a little more bearable when you're not alone. Her phone buzzes, a text from Javon. "The twins wanted me to tell you they still have their cranes, and they miss you." She smiles, types back, "Tell them I miss them too." She sets the phone down, sips her tea, watches the city breathe. And for the first time in years, she feels like she belongs somewhere, not to the world, not to the strangers who turned her into a symbol, but to herself. And that's enough. 6 months later, Javon stands outside his daughter's school. It's a sunny afternoon, rare for Seattle. The twins come running out, backpacks bouncing, smiles wide. They've grown, not just in height, in confidence, in joy. "Daddy, look!" One twin holds up a paper crane. "I made it all by myself." He crouches down, takes it gently. "It's beautiful. Can we send it to Miss Amara?" His chest tightens. "Yeah, we can do that." They haven't seen Amara since the airport, but they've texted, not often, just enough to stay connected, to remind each other they're not alone. He drives them home, their apartment, 2 bedrooms now. He got a raise at work, saved enough to move. The twins have their own room, their own beds, their own space to grow. That night, after dinner, they sit at the kitchen table, folding paper cranes. The twins are getting better, their folds are cleaner, their cranes fly straighter. Javon watches them work, feels something warm in his chest, something that feels like hope. His phone buzzes, a text from Amara. "I'm in your neighborhood today. Would it be weird if I stopped by?" Javon's heart skips. He types back immediately. "Not weird at all. The girls would love to see you." 20 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. The twins freeze. Look at their father. He nods. They race to the door, fling it open. Amara stands there, gray hoodie, worn sneakers, backpack over one shoulder, same as the day they met. The twins scream, tackle her with hugs. She laughs, stumbles back, catches her balance, hugs them back. "I missed you two," she says. "We missed you more." They shout in unison. Javon stands in the doorway, watching. His eyes sting. Amara looks up, meets his gaze, smiles. "Hi." "Hi," he says, voice thick. She steps inside. The twins pull her to the kitchen table, show her their cranes, their drawings, their school projects. She listens, asks questions, laughs at their jokes. Javon makes coffee, sits across from her. They don't talk about the plane, don't talk about the video, don't talk about the strangers who turned them into symbols. They just talk. About life, about work, about the small victories that no one else sees. At some point, the twins fall asleep on the couch, curled together, paper cranes scattered around them. Amara and Javon sit in the kitchen. The coffee is cold now, but neither of them moves. "Thank you," he says, "for coming. Thank you for letting me. You didn't have to." "I know." She looks at the twins. "But I wanted to. They're special." "They are." He pauses. "You are too." She looks away, uncomfortable with the compliment. "I'm just..." "Don't." He leans forward. "Don't downplay it. You saved us that day, not just from the flight. From ourselves." Her eyes glisten. She blinks quickly. "You would have been fine. Maybe, but it wouldn't have felt like this." She nods, doesn't argue. They sit in comfortable silence, the kind that doesn't need words. Eventually, Amara stands. "I should go." "You can stay, if you want." She smiles. "I know, but I have an early shift tomorrow." He walks her to the door. The twins are still asleep. She glances back at them one more time, then looks at Javon. "You're doing a good job," she says softly. "So are you." She nods, steps into the hallway, turns back. "Javon?" "Yeah?" "Can I come back sometime?" His throat tightens. "Anytime," she smiles, walks away. Javon closes the door, leans against it, takes a deep breath. His daughters are safe, fed, loved. They have a home, a future, a chance. And he has something he didn't think he'd ever feel again. Gratitude. Not for the viral video, not for the attention, but for the moment on that plane when a stranger chose kindness over judgment, connection over comfort, love over fear. He walks to the couch, picks up his daughters, carries them to their beds, tucks them in, kisses their foreheads. "Good night, my loves," he whispers. They don't wake, just breathe, peaceful, safe. He turns off the lights, walks to his room, sits on the edge of his bed, pulls out his phone, opens his messages, types, "Thank you for everything, for then, for now, for being here." He hits send, locks his phone, lies back, stares at the ceiling, and for the first time since his wife died, he feels like maybe, just maybe, everything is going to be okay. Across the city, Amara walks into her apartment, sets her backpack down, pulls out her phone, sees Javon's message, reads it, smiles, types back, "Thank you for letting me in. I needed that more than you know." She sets the phone on the counter, walks to the window, looks out at the city, the lights, the people, the lives unfolding in apartments just like hers. She thinks about the twins, about Javon, about the community center, about the kids she'll see tomorrow. She thinks about her father, about the plane, about the fear she carried for so long. And she realizes something. She's not defined by what she lost. She's defined by what she gives, and that's enough. She closes the curtains, turns off the lights, climbs into bed, and for the first time in years, she sleeps without nightmares. Because sometimes the most important stories aren't the ones that go viral. They're the ones that happen quietly, in apartments, in warehouses, in community centers, in moments of kindness between strangers who become something more. They're the stories of people who keep showing up, who keep trying, who keep loving even when the world tells them they're too broken to matter. Javon will keep working, keep raising his daughters, keep building a life out of the rubble. Amara will keep helping kids, keep folding cranes, keep choosing connection over isolation. David will keep trying to be better, keep learning, keep growing. And somewhere, on a plane between cities, another parent will struggle, another child will cry, another stranger will have to choose. Judgment or compassion, fear or love, silence or action. And maybe, just maybe, they'll choose the way Amara did, because that's how the world changes. Not with viral videos or news segments or hashtags, but with one person, one moment, one choice, to stand up, to care, to stay. What did this story teach you? Have you ever been judged unfairly, or has a stranger's kindness changed your life? Drop your story below. I read every single one. And if this moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Because stories like this, they're meant to be passed on.